Guys, today we have some serious news to dive into. The other shoe has dropped for Diddy, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. So if you haven't heard, Diddy is now facing a new lawsuit. But before we get into the details, let's rewind a bit. You might remember that we discussed a situation involving Diddy and his ex, Cassie, a few months back. At that time, we hinted at some troubling allegations, but now things have escalated significantly. This new lawsuit is a major development. Diddy's team had been preparing to defend against various claims, but it seems there's one charge they didn't see coming: attempted murder. Yes, you heard that right. Prosecutors are reportedly gearing up to include this in a superseding indictment against him. Now, many people were skeptical about whether these charges would actually materialize, but the legal documents have dropped and the details are absolutely shocking. We're talking about a situation where someone was allegedly dangled over a 17-story balcony. Can you imagine that? The lawsuit claims that Diddy not only threatened this woman, but physically assaulted her in a horrific manner. This isn't just hearsay. These are serious legal allegations that paint a very disturbing picture. In the documents, it stated that Diddy allegedly picked this woman up and hurled her over the balcony, putting her life in danger. There's no way anyone can rationalize or defend that kind of behavior. His team is scrambling, trying to find a way to justify his actions. But it's a tough sell. What makes this even more concerning is that there's no statute of limitations on these charges. The implications of this could be monumental. Now, let's talk about the woman behind this lawsuit. Her name starts with a B, and she's seeking 100% in monetary damages. Prosecutors believe this could be a pivotal moment in their case against Diddy, and honestly, it's hard to see how he can escape this one. We know that Diddy has faced allegations before, but this one takes it to a whole new level. His past behavior, particularly in California, raises some serious questions about how he's managed to evade accountability for so long. It's not just about Diddy being a celebrity or a black man facing perceived injustice. This is about the alleged actions he took and the consequences he may finally have to face. We're going to dig into these court documents shortly, but first, let's discuss something important. Why didn't Diddy settle these cases before they escalated? Many people thought he would try to negotiate or settle, especially given the gravity of the allegations. However, Diddy has a history of refusing to back down, treating these situations as if he's untouchable. His past is littered with accusations of violence against women and other troubling behavior. It makes you wonder if he thought he could just ride it out like he has in the past. All right, let's get into the specifics of this lawsuit. The case was filed in the Superior Court of California, and the lawyer representing the plaintiff has come out swinging. They're not holding back, and it's clear they're prepared for a fight. The allegations detail a series of violent interactions with Diddy that culminated in this life-threatening incident. It's chilling to think about what this woman has gone through, and it's crucial we highlight her story. In the world of fashion and fame, one young designer believed she had landed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Bana met Diddy, a powerful figure in the industry, through her friendship with Cassie. What began as a dream collaboration quickly spiraled into a nightmare. Bana was an aspiring fashion designer, filled with hope and ambition. Her connection with Cassie opened doors she never imagined. But those doors led to a dark reality. Instead of a partnership, Bana encountered terror and abuse at the hands of Diddy. The physical wounds were only the beginning. The psychological scars ran deep, yet she refused to let fear define her life. Now, she's taking action to hold Diddy accountable for the trauma he inflicted. Bana seeks to reclaim her dignity, safety, and autonomy, elements he robbed her of during their tumultuous time together. These events unfolded between 2014 and September 2016. During this period, Bana was subjected to repeated abuse, leaving lasting psychological effects. Diddy, residing primarily in Brooklyn, frequently traveled to Los Angeles for business. His various corporations operated in the area, giving the court jurisdiction to hear this case. On September 26, 2016, a harrowing incident took place. In the early hours, while Bana and Cassie slept, Diddy violently stormed into their apartment. Recognizing his rage, Bana warned her girlfriend to hide, but Diddy forced his way in. Confronting Bana on the balcony, he groped her, ignoring her desperate pleas to be left alone. As she struggled, he lifted her dangerously close to the edge of the 17th floor balcony, threatening her life, and all she could think was, "What did I do?" Bana's fight is not just about her past, it's about reclaiming her future. She stands up against the cycle of abuse, seeking justice and closure. This is more than a story of survival. It's a call to action. No one should suffer in silence. Bana's journey is just beginning, and she's determined to find her voice. She managed to pull herself back over the banister, but at 4'11" and weighing under 100 pounds, Diddy easily overpowered her. He immediately lifted her higher and held her over the edge of the 17th floor balcony of Cassie's apartment, her life hanging solely by his grip. At that moment, Cassie emerged from her bedroom and witnessed the terrifying scene. Diddy holding Bana over the balcony, her feet dangling in the air. He wasn't pinning her against the railing or threatening her verbally. He was simply holding her out in midair. Cassie screamed for him to stop and pointed out that another person was in the apartment, Bana's hiding girlfriend, who could hear everything from the bathroom. The situation was horrifying. Cassie's desperate screams seemed to make Diddy realize the danger of witnesses. Reluctantly, he pulled Bana back from the edge, but his violence didn't end there. In a final outburst, he slammed her onto the balcony's patio furniture, including the table. This incident speaks volumes about Diddy's darker side. While some defend him, painting him as a different person privately, it's hard to reconcile such a monstrous act with the image of a caring father or friend. People close to him had to have seen glimpses of this behavior. Given the mounting allegations, Diddy's team may have erred in not settling earlier. The damage is done, and these revelations are casting a long shadow over his legacy. At the end of the day, there's no way to justify or downplay this. You can't claim it was a one-time incident or an isolated event, especially when Diddy felt entitled to treat others the same way. With a woman barely over 4 feet tall and under 100 pounds, he dangled her over a balcony, mafioso style, and only stopped when Cassie screamed, pleading for him to remember there were witnesses. After pulling her back from the edge, he didn't stop there. He body slammed her onto the balcony floor, smashing her into furniture and a glass table. The impact could have broken her back, left her paralyzed, or worse. His recklessness endangered her life, and only the presence of witnesses seemed to give him pause. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a pattern. Bana, the woman he attacked, met Diddy through her friendship with Cassie, whom she met in 2014 while they both worked at Diamond Supply Co. At the time, Cassie was dating Diddy, and Bana quickly noticed unsettling signs of abuse. Diddy would frequently call Cassie at work, causing her demeanor to shift dramatically. She'd excuse herself to answer in hushed tones, ensuring no one could overhear. On one occasion, Diddy even called their boss to yell at him, accusing him of trying to mess with his girlfriend. During a shopping trip with Bana, Diddy angrily texted Cassie for not answering his calls, sending her a list of her recent locations along with a threatening message, "You better answer." Diddy's abusive behavior wasn't limited to emotional manipulation. Bana witnessed it escalate into physical violence. On several occasions, when Diddy showed up unannounced at Cassie's apartment, he'd bang on the door until she'd ask Bana to stay silent, pretending no one was home. By May 2016, Cassie's suffering became undeniable. She called Bana via video chat to show her a black eye inflicted by Diddy. These moments confirmed the disturbing reality Bana had already suspected. Cassie was in a dangerously abusive relationship. Bana's testimony aligns with other accounts and paints a clear picture of Diddy's violent, controlling, and abusive behavior that went unchecked for years. In May 2016, Bana grew increasingly concerned for Cassie's safety. Despite claims that Diddy's abusive behavior was an isolated incident, the reality was far more troubling. For example, Cassie once video called Bana to show her a black eye she had received from Diddy. This came shortly after a brutal incident in March 2016, where Diddy viciously beat Cassie. While he avoided hitting her face, knowing she had a film premiere days later, He targeted her body, kicking her in the back of the head and elsewhere. However, by May, when Cassie had no upcoming public appearances, Diddy seemed to have no reservations. During that time, Bana noticed Cassie appearing with bruises more frequently, signaling that the abuse had become routine. In one particularly violent altercation, Bana was visiting Cassie when Diddy became enraged and threw a large kitchen knife at Cassie. In self-defense, Cassie threw one back, while Bana cowered in fear, terrified of being caught in the crossfire. Around this time, Bana also began working with Diddy and Cassie professionally. Cassie and Diddy approached Bana, an up-and-coming graphic designer, to create clothing and merchandise designs. From 2016 to 2018, Bana worked on multiple projects for Diddy and Bad Boy Entertainment, including designing jackets, merchandise, and costumes for the Bad Boy Reunion Tour, August-October 2016. She also collaborated with Cassie on a clothing line, Cassie x Bana. Despite the promising professional opportunities, it became clear that Diddy was exploiting those around him for their artistic talents. Bana created designs for Cassie's singles, Don't Play It Safe and Love a Loser. But these projects, much like those of other collaborators, seemed overshadowed by Diddy's domineering influence. This pattern mirrors the experiences of others, like Tiffany Red, who worked with Cassie on music. Tiffany revealed that many of their songs, absolute hits, were never released during Cassie's peak, possibly due to Diddy's control over her career. The recurring theme is chilling. Diddy's behavior wasn't just abusive in his personal relationships, it extended to professional manipulation. Those who worked with Cassie or Diddy were drawn into a web of control and exploitation, their talents overshadowed by his dominance. Diddy's behavior wasn't just destructive, it was systematically abusive and terrorizing. He not only stalled Cassie's career, but also exploited and threatened those around her. Bana, who worked closely with Cassie, designed merchandise and collaborated on music videos like Don't Play It Safe and the short film Cassie, where she was credited. However, Bana's proximity to Diddy came at a terrifying cost. As one commenter pointed out, it seems Diddy kept Cassie isolated, cutting her off from friends. Bana's working relationship with him exposed her to first-hand experiences of his rage and violence. What began as an opportunity to work with a prominent figure in the industry soon spiraled into a nightmare. On one occasion, Diddy invited Bana on a trip to Joshua Tree under the pretense of showing her the benefits of associating with him. Instead, he became aggressive and forcibly drugged her with what she believed to be ecstasy. Later, during a photo shoot with Cassie, Diddy cornered Bana, leaned into her face, and chillingly declared, "I'm the MFing devil. You have no idea what I could do to you. I could kill you." This wasn't just a threat, it was a statement of intent made by a man with a well-known history of violence. Bana, deeply distressed, knew she had every reason to take him seriously. She was already aware of Diddy's violent tendencies, including his past arrest for a nightclub shooting that left 3 people wounded. Bana had also heard disturbing stories about Diddy's capacity for cruelty. For instance, in 2011, during a brief breakup with Diddy, Cassie had a romantic connection with musician Kid Cudi. Bana learned that Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and in February 2012, Kid Cudi's car actually exploded in his driveway. This account was later corroborated by Cassie herself. Bana also heard unsettling rumors that Diddy had skinned a rival's dog, though she couldn't confirm if it was true. When Diddy threatened Bana's life, she couldn't dismiss it as hyperbole. His actions toward Cassie only reinforced his words. In one horrific incident, he broke into Cassie's apartment, attempted to sexually assault her, and when she resisted, he picked her up, carried her to the balcony, and dangled her over the edge. Cassie, desperate to save her, screamed and begged Diddy to stop, reminding him there were other people in the apartment who would witness his actions. Only then did he relent, but not before slamming Bana, a woman barely over 100 pounds, into a glass table and patio furniture. The terror didn't end there. Diddy's threats and assaults were not impulsive. They were calculated. The act of dangling someone over a balcony isn't just physical violence. It's a psychological weapon designed to instill fear, robbing the victim of any sense of safety or autonomy. Bana's suffering, like Cassie's, was extensive and enduring. Diddy's behavior was a relentless campaign of abuse designed to dominate and control everyone around him. His threats, "I'm the devil, I could kill you," were more than intimidation. They were a promise of what could happen if boundaries were crossed. This isn't just a story of personal abuse, it's a pattern of unchecked violence, manipulation, and terrorization. Prosecutors examining these incidents will likely see the same pattern. Diddy's actions were deliberate, designed to harm, control, and silence those in his orbit. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section. I'll be back in full force tomorrow. Until then, keep an eye for this next video.